Hey guys, it's Custom B here, and I wanted to bring you my first series ever. I figure this would be a great game to do. I've fallen in love with this game since I bought it last year. It's, as you can see, it's Mashinky by Dan Zelani. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. He's the developer. He's been working on this game since 2009 by himself. So it's really starting to come along as of last year. When I first got it, it had 2 eras you could go through all the way up into the late Steam Age, and now we've gotten into 2 Diesel Ages, I believe. So right now we're in the 4th era, is what we can go up to. And so far I've loved it since I first got it. I haven't played it for a little while because I've just been waiting on new updates to come in since he's working on it by himself. It takes him a little longer, but so far it's been amazing. It reminds me of Chris Sawyer's Locomotive when I was a kid playing it, with the realistic trains where they can't share the same track at one time. But it also brings in the Railroad Tycoon, which had the pretty good graphics at the time. But with that one, you could have 2 trains run on one track and be fine. But with this, if you have 2 trains on one track, they will collide and your game will be over. So we're just going to go through and start here with the tutorial. I'm going to try to do I'm going to try to film these in a big stretch and then cut them down into smaller videos, so there won't be an intro every time. It'll just go right into the next video when I get it all set up. So we're going to start going through and get all this out of the way just to get some extra money. There we go. Collect some money there. I don't have to do that one. Sometimes that one works, sometimes that one doesn't. So we're going to do our first steam line from Jersey City to Richmond. So that one ain't too bad. So the really cool part is hit spacebar and you go into this build mode, and everything goes into Tom Sawyer's Locomotive, and any of the Tom Sawyer Roller Coaster Tycoon games where it was a 3D isometric view all the time. And I really love this feature because it just brings back the old days of playing that I really miss. So it's just fantastic. So there we go, we got one here. I'm going to try to swerve past the coal mine, don't hit it. I'll need that one later. Where can we go here? We'll put this, right there. Where can I put the station for best effect? Can I squeeze it in here? Maybe. Let's see. Whoopsies. Alright, we'll just go in here and delete that real quick. Put the station right there. That might work. Hopefully the city grows around the station so we can put that in. There we go. Now we got one whole connected line here. For this one I turned on one depot only, so whatever track I lay from here on out has to be connected to this track, or else I cannot put down another depot to add more trains to it later. So we'll find a good place to put this out of the way. This is the edge of the map, so we'll just see if we can't put it in here somewhere, maybe. There we go, we'll just do that. That'll be fine for now. I might be able to pull out of here, maybe not. Nope, alright, we ain't gonna worry about it then. So from here on we can go through, if you look here, you gotta buy a Porter 260, and I'll do that, and I think it's 6 Pullman wagons. I usually do 7, because I want to try to run the trains at max weight, because if you look here, when you buy a train, you'll have a weight of the train itself and a max speed with a certain weight. So the fastest this train can go for 40 miles an hour is 168 tons of weight. So if you look here, this is how much the train weighs unloaded, 160 tons, and loaded, 167 tons. So because we come under that 168, we're able to run full speed all the time without an issue. So I'll just close this down. Since this is the first line, I don't have to do any orders. The train will take off by itself and go to the stations, but I'm going to go ahead and start putting them in just because I'm going to add more train stations later, so I don't want it running off somewhere else it doesn't need to be. Now with this game, it's very interesting because you have to balance your passenger runs with all of your freight runs, because freight runs do not make money. The only runs that make money is your passenger line. So you have to balance out how many passenger trains can I run, how many freight trains can I run. Because the way it works is with the freight, it turns into tokens, which you can use to advance your age. So right now we're early steam age, stage 1, and to go into the steam age, we need 100 planks and 100 coal. So to get that, you use your freight runs to run them over to the coal mines. Your forests go into, if I can find one, a sawmill. So you run your forest into your sawmill, and it'll start making planks. But then you have to take those planks and go up to a toolworks that'll take the planks and turn them into plank tokens, as you can see here. Now the same works for the coal, except for it doesn't have to go anywhere but the toolworks. So we're going to start that here in a second. But for right now, I think I want to add some more stations to my passenger line to where I can have a few trains running and not have to worry about money issues, things like that. So we're going to go ahead and finish this quest, and right away we get 20 planks. Now with that 20 planks, I could go in here and buy a better engine, the 460 Baldwin, which has a slightly faster top speed, can haul a little bit more weight, but it costs 2 money on operating costs rather than 1 with the Porter. So we're going to hold off on that right now. You can see there's a bunch of quests coming in. They come in, quests and challenges come in through time to time. This is the main line, and then there's a bunch of little ones coming in, like a certain forest wants a lot of wood moved. So you can pick those up if you want, or you can just refuse them, postpone them, they'll come back to them later. So for right now, we're just going to let this run. We need 50 passengers delivered, and right now there's only 8 at that station and 9 at that station, so it's going to take a little while. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll see if I can't build over to Raleigh so I can get some more money coming in for later on down the road. I found this is an easier way to do it, just because it takes a lot of the worry out of it, so you don't have to think, oh, am I going to be making enough money or not when I start running on my freight trains. So we've got that one connected up, and then all we have to do is come here and click on this guy. Whoop, wrong one. We'll click on the train. There we go, that's better. We can go to orders, add a station, and click here. Now, one of the things I've found so far that I don't really care for sometimes is trying to add stations, just because every time you add a station you have to come back and click the add station button and then click on the station and it goes away, so you have to come over here, click on it again, click on your station. So that's one of the few gripes I have with this game. I wish that was a little more streamlined where you can just click on it and then click the stations you want, because as you get a lot more stations going, it gets a little harder to try to move around and figure everything out, especially when you have a bunch of warnings lining up on the right hand screen over here, like trains blocked, cargo's overflowing, things like that. So it gets hectic really quick as you go in through, which makes it a lot of fun trying to figure that out as you're going. So we got that going. I'll show you guys what this game looks like with actual graphics on, and it's pretty stunning. I really like it. Let's see if we can't find it. There he is. There's our train. So with this, now for me, I don't have the best graphics card, so it's not as high detail as I would like it to be, but it's still very nice for having a entry-level graphics card. So it's very enjoyable, graphics-wise, gameplay-wise, challenge-wise. So with this, you can do a couple things with your train. You can rename it. You can go through and actually follow it through the cab, or you can go back into the different train cars and see what it looks like. You can change your camera views from what you're looking at, so you can go inside the cab and outside, or you can flip over into the other side. You can even blow the whistle. Eventually he's going to implement a way for you to drive the train and take over it, which will be a lot of fun too. So it'll add a train simulator essence to it, which will be really cool. So, and then your third option you can do is you can just follow it and see what it's doing. So we're going to go ahead and let this guy run. You can always speed up time here. I usually run a little faster, but for the videos I'll run a little slower just to kind of make everything not so hectic when you're playing, because when you're running full out, full speed all the time, it gets hectic really quick. So some things pop up and it's harder to respond to them because you're in the middle of something else. So we've got 2 here. We have $4,300 left. So I'm going to go ahead and try to go to Vegas, Portland, and Stockton, and I'll make it a big round loop trick back into Richmond, and I'll go through and put some signals down, and we'll add some more trains, get that running, get some more money coming in. So we'll go back into build, and I'll get my station settled first. This one will be easy. It's a very small town, because apparently Vegas is very tiny. So we go there, we'll go up to Portland. Now with the stations, you can only have 6 tiles long, and it only covers 1 tile around the station. But after we build all this, I'll show you how you can go in and actually add to those stations to where it'll have a bigger catchment so you can bring more passengers to the station and onto your trains, therefore making more money. So for right now, we'll go ahead and I'm going to try to slip past here because I don't want to block any of these in and make it to where I have to cross tracks, because it's not always fun to hold up traffic if you have a big train of wood waiting somewhere in the middle. Then your other trains can't run and everything shuts down on you. So we're going to go ahead and go up this way and right there. And then as you supply these cities with trains, and later on you can do goods and other things, I'm kind of curious as to what he'll add later on to go with it all. But as you go, you can actually watch the cities grow and change. So, I forgot, if you right click too many times, it actually backs you out of what you're doing, and then you got to re-click on it. So now we got everything connected up, and I can go through, if I can find the train, I can go through and add all the orders to it to go here, right? Yes, station 4, and then up to station 5 and 6, and then is that station 7? Yes. So 7 stations. So the train will basically run all the way around here and just keep going in one big circle, making it easier because they won't have to turn around anymore. So it'll actually speed up the time the train has to run. So what we'll do now is I'm going to go through and put in a bunch of block signaling. Now I've found with this, it's a lot easier if you go less is more. Because if you put too many down, then you run into issues where multiple blocks will open up and cause train accidents. So what I'll do is I want to try to make it to where one train can fit between each block section without an issue, because later on in the game you can get bigger and longer trains, and then you have to go through and change all your blocks, because if you don't, you'll have one train running into 2 or 3 different blocks, and then you'll cause a bigger backup than what you had to start with. So what I'll do, I'll put one up here, and to make this one directional, you just click on either one you want. I think for us it's this one, yes. So that way that train will run that way and cannot come backwards. And then we'll come up here, and right before this station we'll add one here and do it again, and we'll just run around here and add different blocks to where trains can't bunch up on each other, cause accidents, and everything should run pretty smoothly without too much of an issue. Because if you have too little signals, every single train will stop behind all the signals and no train will be able to move, and then the whole system's in a gridlock and you lose money until you figure that out. There are warning signs when you play. They'll pop up down here, like I said, and it'll say train 1 has been sitting at this block for too long. So you can go in, click on it, and it'll show you what's going on, and you can see if you can work out a way to fix it. Sometimes it's harder to fix than others, so it just depends on the situation. We'll go ahead and put one here, and there we go. We'll keep that one a double since it has to go in and out, because I can't go that way with it. So I'll have to figure something out for this later. I'll probably end up deleting this depot, moving it backwards so I can actually run a train track in here to let it come in, because it will not come back this way. So let's see, we got one signal there, one signal there, one signal there, there. Okay, I think that should be okay for right now. Maybe, no, that stretch will be fine. The other really cool thing I saw too is when you place tracks and everything, it actually churns the dirt up, and it looks like you've actually done construction. And then after a little while, it'll eventually go away and go back into the landscape. So it's a nice little touch that I think some games miss. But this is just something really cool. Looks like we finally got our 100 or 50 passengers done, so we can collect that. They now want us to buy 6 trains and deliver logs to any sawmill. So what we can do is we'll go back in here and start working on logs to the sawmill here, which I blocked myself in here. Figured that would happen with everything here in the middle. So that'll be fine though, because we can make multiple sections of track go into one that cross here in one point, and we'll be fine there. So we got one train going there, but for right now we're going to go ahead and I'll build a couple more trains. Now when you go to do multiple engines coming out of the same depot at one time, it's easier for me to go ahead and just buy the trains one by one, send them out to go, because the only other option is you put your trains on here and we'll get it up there, and then they'll appear down here if you have 2 engines or more in this depot. So you have to sit here and drag and drop. So I find it easier just to build them one at a time, and then I found a quick little easy way to add every single station at once. You just have to find the train, which is right there. So you'll hit your add station button and you'll just click on the train and it automatically copies them all down to there. So we can just hit start. Now, oh, I do see an issue here with both of these trains. So I have stations 1, 3, 4, and 4. So what happened here? We have, where are we going? We have station 1. Where's station 2? We don't have 2, do we? We have 3. Where did 2 go? Okay. Well, let's see. We got station 1. We'll go ahead and delete 3, delete the extra 4, and we'll add 3 to the end. So that way it's doing a complete revolution instead of having to go all the way around to get to that one and then going all the way around again. So I wish I would have seen that sooner, but it should be fine. So we can go ahead and actually, instead of editing this one, we can go to this one and it'll automatically edit for us when we click on the train. So 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 3. Good. So for right now, one thing I want to do is fix this. So I'll just... Oh, that didn't delete. I need to go to bulldoze. Only one depot. Oh, can I not delete this depot now? Some biscuit. Let's see. Can I delete this one or no? It won't let me, will it? No, it won't. Okay. That'll be an issue later, but for now it'll be fine. Hopefully, I don't ever have to send any of them back. Might just have to end up doing this. So we'll just do that, and then I can add one here just to keep, whoop, wrong way, there we go, just to keep a train from getting hit coming through here. So we got that fixed for now. It looks pretty ugly, but it's gonna have to work. So alright, now with that set up, I'm gonna add 2 more engines into here just to make it easier later on. We can start bringing in more money now. It's easier that way for me, at least. 7, there we go. We'll start these both and we'll go into orders and find a train running somewhere. There's one. And we can click there and click there, and they're all on the run. Now I want to show you too, I was talking about the extensions you can do. So you can go into click your station, hit extension, and there's this whole box here of things you can do with it. If I can get it to go out, there we go. So they've added a lot of things. This will come in later on, the iron ore stuff, but for right now the one thing I want to do is a waiting room, which doubles your speed, adds capacity to the station, and it doubles it makes the catchment area huge.